Hello, Oilers fans. Austin here with the 2024-25 season preview video. I will be breaking down where I think the Oilers are going to finish in the standings, how many points I think the top point scorers are going to get on the team, where, my thoughts are in general on the team coming out of preseason and heading into the regular season. And of course, I will have a rest of the NHL prediction standings and the Stanley Cup final standings prediction at the end of this video. If you're excited for the season to start, if you're excited for Oilers content, if you're excited for all the great things that are going to be happening on this channel specifically, make sure you hit that like button today, and also make sure to subscribe. If you are not yet subscribed, tell all your friends and family who may enjoy my content as well. We are part of a very positive community, and I have a lot of hope and positivity heading into the season, and with all of your support, I know we're going to have a lot of fun here. So with that out of the way, let's just jump right into this. So last year under Chris Knoblauch, before I get into this season's predictions, I wanted to take a look at last year's regular season and playoffs and kind of talk about what to expect from Chris Knoblauch, the coaching staff, and how the team should be performing. Now, when Chris Knoblauch took over, the Oilers in the regular season, they were second in expected goals for percentage, third in Corsi for percentage, second in goals for percentage, and this is all 5-on-5, by the way. Second in scoring chances, first in high danger, Corsi for, first in high danger goals for, 11th in expected goals against, so we're going to talk about that, 9th in save percentage, 16th in high danger save percentage, 4th on the power play, and 15th on the penalty kill. So last year, the Oilers defensively had a lot of interesting games, and it led to a higher expected goals against because they do play a very, I won't say dangerous style of hockey, but they do give up a lot on their own end, even though they're able to score a lot on them, with their own offense. So 11th in expected goals against, that shows that defensively they just need to tighten up just a little bit, help the goaltenders out. However, we would expect a better save percentage and high danger save percentage. So the Oilers' deficiencies during the regular season were goaltending and defense, but the offense was incredible. Now, in the playoffs, this is a really interesting story, and I was very surprised when I was doing the research and finding all these numbers. In the playoffs last year, the Oilers ranked 9th in expected goals for percentage, 8th in Corsi for, 6th in goals for, 9th in scoring chances, 8th in high danger chances, 6th in high danger goals. And now, they ranked dead last in high danger goals against, and the total goals against that they allowed at 5-on-5 was 52. And to contrast that, the Florida Panthers only gave up 38 goals at 5-on-5. So that is a difference of 14 goals. And if the Oilers can find a way to cut down even like 5 or 6 goals at 5-on-5 in the postseason next year, if, assuming they go on a long run, they should be able to win, because the fact that their possession metrics were very middling during the playoffs, and they were still able to go to Game 7 and be within a couple goals of winning the Stanley Cup, that shows that, the team is timely, and the special teams. Look at the special teams from the playoffs. Power play, 29.3%. Penalty kill, 94.3%. It was a historic penalty kill, and their power play, I mean, it's safe to say that the special teams really did help carry the Oilers to the Stanley Cup final. It's not the whole story. They did have some timely goals at 5-on-5. They had some timely saves. Stuart Skinner in games 4 through 7 of a playoff series just got better and better and was putting up elite numbers, but it's games 1 to 4 or 1 to 3 in a series that he really needs to. The Oilers need to get on top of the 8 ball. They can't be behind the 8 ball as often as they were in the playoffs. They had to fight back and claw back a lot, used a lot of energy, but I am very interested to see how the Oilers' possession metrics look during the regular season, because it's very Jekyll and Hyde from last year. Their playoff metrics were very middling, but their regular season metrics were elite. So we expect the Oilers, even with a lot of the changes on their roster, to still have a very strong special teams. And if they can play really good at 5-on-5, I can't see why this team won't score a ton of goals. I mean, I'm projecting this team scoring over 300 goals this season. It might be similar to 2 years ago under Jay Woodcroft, where they scored 325 goals. But we will talk about that. And this is just highlighting where the team needs to improve, and it needs to be defensively and in net. Like, they need to get more saves from Stuart Skinner, and they need more consistent saves from Stuart Skinner. Obviously, Skinner has shown flashes of elite goaltending, but he needs to find consistencies in his game if the Oilers are going to have long-term success. Now, projecting the roster here after the cuts that were made recently from the coaching staff. During the offseason, the Oilers added Jeff Skinner, Ty Emberson, Victor Arvidsson, and Vasily Podkolzin. Those were the 4 major adds to the team. But they lost Warren Fogle, Ryan McLeod, Dylan Holloway, Philip Broberg, Vinny Desharnais, and Cody Ceci. Those were the major subtractions. You look at the major subtractions there, that is a lot of speed and skill. The speed and skill factor for McLeod, Holloway, and then they lost a lot of youth. This team is old. This is an old, veteran, grizzled team. They are older, they are slower, and there are question marks on defense, but we'll talk about that. Now, the opening night lineup looks to be Nugent Hopkins with McDavid and Hyman, and then Jeff Skinner with Leon Draisaitl and Victor Arvidsson. Third line, likely Janmark, Henrique, and Brown. And then the fourth line, Podkolzin, Ryan, and Perry. Now, defensively, this is where there's some question marks. Ekholm and Bouchard are phenomenal. One of the best defensive players in the entire NHL. But Nurse and Emberson. Can Darnell Nurse find a way to get his game back to the way it was during the Canadian division back in 2021? And can Ty Emberson in his sophomore season and playing a full season, can he handle top 4 minutes with Darnell Nurse? If he can't, and if there's big question marks there, the Oilers' defense is going to be a problem. Kulak and Stetcher on the third pair, and then Travis Dermott looks like he'll likely stick around and be signed after his pro tryout. Dermott played well, and I'm very happy to see that he has stuck around. But again, there are question marks. If there's an injury on this defensive core, like if Ekholm were to go down for any significant amount of time, Nurse, Kulak, or Bouchard, like this defensive group is not very deep, and it is a big hole. This is a big black hole on the team. And it's the biggest question mark. Now, structurally, if the Oilers play a good structured system, and Paul Coffey seems to understand how to get the most out of his defensemen, I won't be super concerned. So the most important part of the 2024-25 season is getting ahead of the standings as quickly as possible, banking points early in October, because this team cannot afford to fall back. They cannot afford a slow start. Last year, they were able to get that new coaching bump, and they were able to find a way to get themselves on a 16-game win streak and then go to the Cup final, and it was a magical Cinderella run. If the team were to theoretically, again, start with a similar 2-9-1 record this year, they will not have the energy to be able to come back because of how old the team is, and because of how much energy that a lot of the main players who were on the team last year had to use just to find a way to get to the Cup final. It was a very short summer. So this team cannot afford a slow start. In net, we're going to have Skinner and Calvin Pickard. And again, that is another question mark. Can Stuart Skinner be consistent? Can he play at a 910, 915 save percentage every single game? Every game. I'm not even joking. It has to be every game, because if he's playing at a 910 save percentage pretty much every game, the Oilers are going to win 8 out of every 10 games. Like, that's just the reality. But Skinner needs to find a way to be consistent. He will be entering his 3rd straight season as the starter, or presumed starter now. It's time to take that extra step if you're Stuart Skinner. And I'm the biggest, oh my God, just like hit my mic in my face. I'm the biggest Stuart Skinner fan. He needs to be more consistent this season. And like I said, the team is older, they are slower, and the question marks on defense could hamper this team. But that said, I am still very much looking forward to the team, and I am very high on this team. I think they're going to have a terrific season. Now, my 2024-25 actual projections here. Scoring leaders, Connor McDavid, I think he's going to have a huge bump in goal scoring after a down year last year, which, we can say was injury-related, illness-related. He clearly wasn't 100% for a lot of the season, but next year, I really do think that shooting percentage is going to shoot right back up. I'm predicting 47 goals, 95 assists, 142 points for Connor McDavid, and he will likely lead the NHL in scoring with those totals. Leon Draisaitl, I'm playing on my bold prediction from like a month ago. He won't hit 100 points this year, but that doesn't mean that this is a bad season for Leon Draisaitl. 36 goals, 63 assists. I'm predicting 99 points on the dot. Evan Bouchard, I'm predicting about 25 goals, 65 assists, 90 points. Oh, by the way, this prediction, it's not based on science. I did not feed numbers into a deep learning algorithm to, project where these players are going to play and the points they're going to get. This is just me. This is just me going with my gut and having some fun. Bouchard, like I said, I think he'll finish with around 90 points. 25 goals, 65 assists. Nugent Hopkins, I think he's going to have a bounce back year in terms of point production. 22 goals, 54 assists, 77 points. Zach Hyman, he's going to come back down to earth. He is not going to score 50 goals again, but that's okay. There's a lot of offense around Zach Hyman, and that shooting percentage is likely to come down. Teams are likely to cover him a bit better. on power play. So I expect Zach Hyman to still have a very great year. 36 goals, 34 assists, 70 points. Jeff Skinner, I'm expecting about 27 goals, 32 assists, 59 points. And Victor Arvidsson, 25 goals, 30 assists, 55 points. The bulk of the offense is coming from the top six on this team. That's where the majority of the offense is going to come from. Between those 7 players, that's over 200 goals. And that's just the reality of the situation. So the top 6, they need to be healthy. I do expect Skinner and Arvidsson to probably start a little slow, just because players who sign as free agents to new teams, that happens a lot. We see that all the time throughout the NHL. Don't expect Jeff Skinner to immediately score a hat trick on opening night and be on his way to a 40-goal season. I do expect a few growing pains. I do expect the 2 players, Skinner and Arvidsson, as they figure out where they belong in the lineup, whether that's with Draisaitl or McDavid. And same with the coaching staff. They're going to be adjusting things too, especially if things don't go well at the start. But I think they're going to have very respectable seasons. I think Skinner is going to be a good fit with Draisaitl and McDavid. Same with Arvidsson. Arvidsson is just an Energizer bunny. This guy just never stops moving. When it comes to goaltending, Stuart Skinner, I'm projecting a 35-14-6 record, 915 save percentage, and a 259 goals against. I do think the goals against average is going to be fairly high for the Edmonton Oilers this season, just because of the defense. The save percentage for Skinner will be up, but the goals against as well could also be up. But that's just because the Oilers are going to be giving up a lot of goals while they're scoring a lot of goals, although I hope to be proven wrong here. Calvin Pickard, I'm predicting a 14-7-2 record. I think he'll get a few more starts. I think the team is very confident in Calvin Pickard to give him a few extra starts. Last year, he only started, I think, 21 or 22 games. Expect him to start around the same, maybe even a little bit more. 907 save percentage, 265 goals against. And then this could be, goalies that are pulled. This could be a call-up if there's injuries. 2-1-1, 905 save percentage, 2.7 goals against. Now, the official standings, I'm predicting the Oilers, 51 wins, 22 losses, 9 overtime losses for 111 standings points. I'm predicting the team to score 325 goals. I'm expecting them to give up a decent amount, though, 254. Power play percentage, probably around 27%. I don't think they're going to hit that historic, 32+%, whatever it was under Jay Woodcroft. I don't think that's going to happen, but this power play is still going to be very elite, and I think the penalty kill is also going to be very, very good. It's not going to be the playoffs good, because that was also historic, but I expect the penalty kill to be in that 83-84% range, and I expect the Oilers to do very well. Now, in saying that, where does this put the Oilers in the overall NHL standings? Well, there's a lot of people that are immediately going to hit dislike on this video, because when I show you my standings predictions for the rest of the teams, I actually do predict the Vancouver Canucks to take the Pacific Division. And yes, they have an even bigger question mark in net. They have a bigger question mark when it comes to possibly their depth and their defense, but the way Vancouver's structured, the way they play Rick Tocchet's system, I honestly don't think it truly matters whether it's Demko or Shilov's in the net. They are very good at shot suppression, and they are just absolutely relentless on you in the neutral zone. They make your life miserable. The Vancouver Canucks are a great team. And Vancouver, there's a lot of players that are going to have some regression. There's a few players on their team that had career years. They're going to drop down. But the players that they added, like Jake DeBrusk and Daniel Sprong, they're going to help bump the shooting percentage and keep it pretty similar. And then, of course, defensively, I like Vancouver's defensive group, and I like Shilov's in net for them. I do think that they'll finish first in the Pacific, and this is not a knock on the Edmonton Oilers. To me, I don't care about a Pacific Division title. I care about the Stanley Cup. Third, I'm going Vegas. Fourth, I'm going Seattle. Fifth, I'm going Los Angeles. Sixth, Calgary. Seventh, Anaheim. And then eighth, the San Jose Sharks. In the Central Division, I'm predicting the Dallas Stars to finish first place. I'm predicting the Nashville Predators to be second. The addition of Stamkos. Nashville should be very, very good. Colorado, I'm expected to finish around third. Now, the Central Division is absolutely stacked, by the way. I can't say enough good things about the Central. That is a nightmare division to play in. Fourth, I'm going to go Winnipeg. And fifth, I'm going to go the Utah Hockey Club, and I'm also penciling Utah as a wild card entry into the postseason. I think they're going to make the playoffs in their first year in Utah, and it is very exciting times for Utah fans. And I'm excited to watch the Utah team. There's a lot of players that I liked on the Arizona Coyotes that I'm excited to watch in Utah now. Sixth, St. Louis. Seventh, Minnesota. And eighth, Chicago. The Central, likely the top 6-7 teams probably finished with 80+ points or more. Chicago, they'll take a little bit of a step, but they're still not very good. Connor Bedard, they're still fully in their rebuild. So expect Chicago to finish dead last in that division. And speaking of divisions and how strong they are, the Pacific is very weak. Pretty much after Vegas, it's kind of a crapshoot in terms of where the standings are going to be. And I do think the Oilers will have an inflated winning percentage. Same with Vancouver too, because of how weak the rest of the Pacific is. The Oilers should be able to feast on teams like LA, Calgary, Anaheim, and San Jose all season long. Atlantic Division, I'm going Toronto to win the Atlantic Division. I like their defensive core. If their goaltending is kind of sorted out, they have elite offense and a new coach. I think Toronto under Craig Berube, they're probably going to finish first in the Atlantic. Second, I'm going Florida. Third, I'm going to go Tampa. Fourth, I'm going to go Boston. I'm bumping the Bruins down pretty hard. Yes, they signed Jeremy Swayman finally, but the Boston Bruins, they lost a lot of offense. They lost a lot of depth. Big question marks in terms of their forward group, and everything has to go right for Boston to be an elite team. And I think they're going to be a wild card team this year. They always find a way. Every time I predict the Bruins to finish poorly in the standings, they always find a way to jump up and finish first. The year that they had the historic win record in the NHL in 22-23, I predicted them to be like a wild card team that year. So it shows how little I actually know. Buffalo, I'm predicting to finish fifth and just outside the playoff picture. Sorry, Sabres fans. Sixth, I'm predicting Detroit, seventh, Ottawa, and eighth, Montreal. And then, of course, in the Metro Division, Rangers likely finish first once again. The New Jersey Devils are going to have a huge bounce-back year. I'm very excited for the Devils. I think their goaltending is finally sorted, and their offense is going to be just fine. Their defense is very good as long as Dougie Hamilton stays healthy. For the love of God, Dougie Hamilton, stay healthy. Carolina, I'm predicting to finish third, and then Philadelphia, I'm predicting to finish fourth, and the other wildcard team in the Eastern Conference. Pittsburgh will finish just outside that playoff picture. Washington will be below them, and then the Islanders, and then sadly, the Columbus Blue Jackets, who hopefully can win the draft lottery and be on a better path to success. I really do feel for Blue Jackets fans. That team honestly feels cursed sometimes. So hopefully there are things to cheer about. Hopefully there are players that the team can rally around, and the community in general in Columbus seems very heartfelt, and I wish that organization all the best. Now, when it comes to my Stanley Cup final prediction, the NHL did give me the script. Oilers versus Rangers, and the winner, Oilers in 7. It would be quite the fireworks show if the Oilers played the Rangers. A lot of ties between those two teams, with Glenn Saylor being part of the Oilers and Rangers for huge periods of time, and Messier playing on the Rangers, winning a cup in 94 with them, also winning 5 cups with the Oilers. So it would be quite the legacy-style Stanley Cup final, and I would very much look forward to it. But if you made it this far into the video, that is pretty much it for my 2024-25 season preview. I was going to break down the Oilers and the rest of the NHL in 2 separate videos, but I had some stuff come up recently that I just decided, you know what, I'm going to put this all in one video, get this all out at once, and give you all something fun to talk about in the comment section below. So let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section below. Let me know how excited we are for the Oilers season to start. I will be doing a live stream commentary and reaction stream on Wednesday for the home opener, just like I was doing during the playoffs. If you're not sure what that looks like, if you're new to the channel and you want to know what one of those live streams looks like, on my YouTube page, you can click on my channel and then go to live, and you can go through the other live streams I've done. I usually have a heart rate monitor. I have my cat cam for Mochi, and chat interaction. I have the scoreboard. It's so much fun. I absolutely love the live streams. I'm excited to do another live stream for the first time since I think July. It's going to be an absolute blast. Thank you all so much for your support. It truly means the world. Like this video. Make sure to subscribe. Tell someone that you love them. Please, that is the most important part of my channel, is just all of us always telling someone that we love them. And as always, fight like a kid, fight like Ben. Let's go Oilers. I cannot wait for this season to start. Let's go.